Good. So let's get started now with our first session of the day, a breakfast briefing showcase on connecting the unconnected across land, sea, and sky. We have with us Amit Pathak, AVP for East Africa at Yahsat. Amit, over to you. Thanks.
Hi, good morning, everyone. A warm welcome to the delegates from the ministry, as well as delegates from the industry. It has been an insightful first day. We'll be starting, we got a good slot. Thank you, Tariq and Extensia team for the key slot. We'll be having a workshop on Yahsat as to what Yahsat does. Basically, it's a satellite communication company, satellite operator. So to start with, I'll quickly hand over to my colleague Sami Hagana, who is VP for Africa for Thuraya and YahClick, which is basically Yahsat. Sami has been with the company for 20 years. He's the VP now, as I mentioned. So, Sami, please.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. My friends in Extensia, Tariq and the team. So today I'm gonna take you for the mobility. We'll talk about the mobility. Thuraya Telecommunication Company. It's all about satellite mobility. So who we are? We are a Yahsat group. We're based in Abu Dhabi. It's owned by Abu Dhabi government. Yahsat, it's owned by Mubadala. Mubadala is a financial arm of Abu Dhabi government. It's well known in the financial sector. So it's about $232 billion investment. We are part of that group. Okay. So this is our original coverage for Thuraya. We have our own geo satellite, which we are covering 2/3 of the globe. If you can see, we are much covering Africa, Europe, and Far East, and we have a special coverage in US. That's for IoT and M2M. Our new satellite will be launched soon, very soon, maybe in 2 months. That will cover South Africa. So it will be replaced the satellite in Africa. We are the only satellite mobile operator that having roaming agreement with the most of mobile operator in the world. If you can see the blue color, this is our roaming and agreement. We have more than 400 agreement with the mobile operator. If you can see, we are just acting like GSM operator, but our PTS in the orbit. Okay. Today we're gonna talk about a new baby. We're gonna launch new phone, hopefully in October, next month, in a few weeks. So this device is gonna talk about D2D concept. All of you know the concept of D2D. We in Thuraya, we started that concept in 2008, in fact. So if you can see, this is like a classic satellite phone. Everybody knows Thuraya, maybe he used it several times, especially in the bushes or in the remote area. So in my left hand, then a smartphone. This is technically is Thuraya smartphone. So if you can see the change, this nobody believe this is like a satellite phone until I push the antenna out. So this is our new baby. We are happy to speak about it here in Tanzania. Okay. So for the GSM operator, we're gonna change the concept from D to D. We're gonna say T to T. So Tanzania to Tanzania. Okay, so the concept of D to D, all of you know, here in the market, it has been a trend, especially nowadays, device to device. This is like something has been initiated now, and if you can see of the statistic at the right, the growth, it will be huge. So there is a lot of opportunity for all of us in terms of the satellite, GSM operator, enterprise solution, system integrators to avail of that. So this is exactly how slim it is, and it will be the first ever smart satellite phone. And we mean it when we say like a satellite smartphone, it's a true dual mode. It comes with the satellite capabilities along with the GSM capabilities. So this is like some fact about the device. It's Android based. It's just like similar like Samsung S24 or more advanced. It's quite rugged. If you can see the ingredient, it is IP67. So that's mean like waterproof, dustproof, and shockproof. It has like 3 cameras, and at the back and the rear and one front camera. It's a true, as I mentioned, it's a true dual SM satellite and GSM. When I'm saying true dual mode, this means you can make calls from the satellite and you can merge it with the call with the GSM. You can make conference call, you can hold and make two different GSM and satellite in the same time. And it has 4G capabilities. So it has 2G, 3G, 4G, and as well with the new satellite it will be 5G. So this is like the SIM, and we're gonna see it in the social media very soon. Okay, so this device has been innovated to address the GSM challenges. So we are targeting, of course, consumer as well, but we are targeting GSM operators that we need to extend their range, their coverage. So with this device, GSM operator that can use their own SIM card. So you don't need, if you don't need satellite, it's fine. You can use your own SIM card and roaming and Thuraya network. And there it will be like a roaming packages that will be very attractive to the GSM operator. So we are bridging the gap. We are not competing with the GSM operator. In fact, we are completing each other. So we went far so they can stay very close. So this is like what I mentioned. So we are supporting all frequencies in terms of the cellular. We enhance 5G, 4G, 3G. So there's no any issues with the GSM operator. From day one, they can enhance their coverage with this device. So everybody knows about iPhone. They initiated a D2D by enabling satellite capabilities in iPhone 14 and 15. But to make a simple comparison, iPhone is just like an emergency SOS. So it's just like one-way communication. But with the SkyPhone Thuraya, you have like a full flesh. You have like voice, you have SMS, and like a normal phone. So we enhance the concept of D2D with the new SkyPhone Thuraya. This is like technical specs. The device will be available. We have a small stand here outside. You are welcome to come and you can try the device, okay, at your convenience. So again, this is like, you can use, it's a dual, you can use 2 SIM card, Thuraya, and you can use any mobile network operator SIM card. It's a nano, okay, 1 slot. So there's like 2 different models with the GSM operator. They can use Thuraya SIM card and they enjoy the service, or they can use their SIM card roaming on Thuraya network, or they can use both. So, and the device is very smart. It's always the preference for the terrestrial area. So when you put Thuraya SIM card and GSM SIM card, the device automatically look for the local network. So if you are remote or you is unable to connect to the terrestrial network, automatically it goes to satellite, and you get connectivity. And it's very smart. Even the handover, it's very smart. So even you're connected to Thuraya network, and in the meantime, you found a local network, the device will hand over automatically the call smoothly to the local network. So we announced the device in Barcelona in February 2024, and the product will be scheduled to be launched in October 2024 in Abu Dhabi. And this is like a chance to invite all of us, all of you, if you're interested, we can get in touch with us if you want to attend the launch of this device. Thank you so much, and we are here. Any question? If you want to see the device, browse it, you are most welcome. I'm gonna hand the microphone to my colleague, our AVP Amit Pathak. Please, can you come? Thank you.
Thank you, Sami. So the key message is we are very excited about this new product that we have launched, D2D. Sami mentioned about the growth that we foresee for the D2D market. So, I mean, we welcome all of you to experience the phone at our stall outside. After SkyPhone, I'll be talking mostly about Yahsat, what Yahsat is into. Like I mentioned, it's a satellite operator having 5 satellites in the sky, basically 5 wideband satellites, which covers 2/3 of the globe. So to quickly, I'll concentrate today on the 2 main subsidiaries of Yahsat, which is Thuraya and YahClick. Sami covered a bit about Thuraya. Basically, the difference is, I mean, I'll just quickly go into the basics of it. There are 2 types of bands, L band and Ka band, as you know. L band is basically for mobility services, the army, the police, the boats, etc. Wherever mobile satellite communication is needed, there's Thuraya for you. And wherever fixed satellite connection is needed, our normal broadband and the dish that you see in the market, so that is being catered by YahClick. So we have different satellites. L band we have 1 satellite, and YahClick Ka band we have 3 satellites right now. Our total fleet is of about 5 satellites. I'll quickly go to it. Yeah. So as Sami mentioned, this is our global coverage. As you can see, we cover 2/3 of the globe. Primarily, we have a separate government network as well, which we have a separate company which caters to the government sector, which is we called as YGS, Yahsat Government Solutions. Otherwise, for commercial requirements, we have Thuraya and YahClick. So as you can see, the Ka band and the L band network, most of it we cover Africa very well. In fact, we are the #1 broadband satellite service provider in Africa with more than 30,000 broadband sites. So when I say broadband, it is mostly to do with the consumer segment, where usually the broadband links works. Quickly, some more about Thuraya. Again, the global coverage, Sami did mention about it, but I wanted to emphasize on the GSM roaming partnership that we have. Sami as well mentioned we have more than 400 roaming agreements. So whenever a Thuraya user based in Tanzania is anywhere in the globe literally, except the Northern American part, we have roaming agreements. The user latches onto the local GSM provider, and that's how they are connected across the globe. So like Sami showed the phone, those are primarily meant for the VIP travelers, hikers who travel across the globe, and they don't want to miss out due to the connectivity issues. To quickly, again, this is the whole suite of Thuraya product portfolio. So when we talk about Thuraya, I mentioned it is about mobility, but it is mostly about 3 segments that we categorize it into. One is land, one is air, one is sea. So when we see, you all know it's about maritime. So this is the product portfolio that we have. I'll quickly be going through it in detail. But as you can see, we even cater to the flight connectivity, but more of the cockpit segment. So when we put those aero devices in the cockpit, the pilot is able to talk to the ground network. We have land product portfolio. Land meaning these are all internet services, IP connectivity. Maritime, as I mentioned, the separate portfolio for boats, fishing boats, which we are doing very well. The phone that you see at the corner, right side, that's put on a fisher boats, the small fisher boats. So what the phone does is, it is connected back to the base. The boat or the fisherman is connected back to the base. He gives real-time data all the time to the base. You know the amount of fish catch, etc. every hourly. So they can plan accordingly the logistics, etc. So that's very useful. Other than that, the boat is being tracked all the time so that it doesn't venture out into unwanted areas. IoT, we have a good product portfolio, again catering to different kinds of bandwidth rates. This is a voice portfolio. As you can see, we start from a very basic plain vanilla phone, which are meant for like oil and gas, which just does voice connectivity. It has good kind of IP67 made for outdoor this thing. We have XT Pro, which is a smarter version of XT Lite. We as well have XT Pro Dual. Now what XT Pro Dual adds is it adds two kind of SIMs, not only L-band, but it has a GSM SIM as well. So the phones, as you see, are very rugged, meant for outdoor harsh environments. Basically satellite phones. So those are basic phones for your knowledge. Sami talked about SkyPhone already, so I will not go much into it. The earlier slide was about our voice portfolio, Thuraya voice portfolio. This is about all the IP products, meaning the internet connectivity. So as you see, we start from a very basic, notebook size of a terminal, which is DC operatable. This can be carried by a person in hand. It's portable, meaning that when you reach at the location wherever you want to get connected, you plug and play. I mean, you just switch it on and it's connected. Across Thuraya, you get around 444 kbps of capacity on any terminal. What all these terminals do is they create a Wi-Fi. I mean, obviously these are meant for an individual users. Considering L-band, this is the data rate you get. However, like Sami mentioned, we will be starting a new satellite. It's launched. We will be commercializing it in Q1. The data rates, standard IP, the second column, that will go to 1 Mbps by the new satellite. So those are the detail. Another added feature of Thuraya products is you can configure the streaming rates the way you want. You can completely configure the 1 Mbps to outroute, or you can completely configure it depending on the application that you are using. To give some brief, what are the applications of this? The first one is a pure data terminal. The second one is a IP Voyager. This is basically for vehicle mounted applications. So the antenna is mounted on top of the vehicle. I mean, safaris, to do with Tanzania, we have a lot of opportunities. We mount it on top of the vehicle, and that's the router, gray device, which is basically inside the vehicle. And in the vehicle, on the move, you get all the time connectivity on the remote harsh areas where the standard or other terrestrial network is not available. The third is MCD Voyager, IP Voyager, I'm sorry. That is basically meant for military grade applications. It as well, other than the data rates, it as well gives voice connectivity. So the military users, they need voice connectivity all the time. So not only data Wi-Fi, it as well gives voice connectivity. Third one is the MCD Voyager, which is basically a man-packed terminal meant for first early responders kind of users, the media users who are reporters on field, they have to report an incident. So that is what it's packed in a suitcase. The user doesn't even have to open the suitcase. He's all the time connected when he's at the site. It creates a Wi-Fi. Even good video calls as well can be done on this network because there are software that are there which are capable of getting the video signals across this bandwidth. I mentioned about Thuraya IP Commander, which is for military grade. As you can see, it is mounted on top of the vehicle. It as well gives voice communication. Other than that, yes, it is meant for military spec done for. MCD Voyager I talked about. Wherever you go, it's like a man-pack terminal. You reach there, it's connected, and you can report the incidents from the site. So meant for to carried by the person on the back. Another interesting segment or a product that we have is a PTT, which is basically, you all know, is a push to talk. Now Thuraya has its own PTT version. You all know what PTT is. It's basically the Motorola UHF, VHF networks that you create. So what Thuraya PTT does is, on top of Motorola network or the usual UHF networks, Thuraya extends the network, the Motorola network, beyond line of sight. Now the limitation with that network is that you remain within the network of Motorola. It could be within a city. But what if the user is even outside the city and you want to create a closed user group? So there is this Explorer terminal, as you can see this one. Yeah. We have demonstrated it on a stall. So you put this in a vehicle, and your local network, your home network, you carry it wherever you go. So that's we are talking about. This creates a homogeneous network, irrespective of what kind of radio network right now you have. The mobile gateway just sits on top of your existing network, and you are connected across the globe in your closed user group. Basically meant for like the emergency services, as you can see, because whenever there is a, in remote areas, there is a calamity, there is an emergency, they are the one who have to respond it, and they have to be connected in a closed user group. So that's what PTT is for. Basically, beyond line of sight, it takes your network. In summary, of course, when I said beyond line of sight, it extends your network, your local network, to across the globe in Thuraya network. Interoperatively, as I mentioned, it sits on top of any kind of radio network that you have locally. It is again meant for military use as well, so it's very well secured, encrypted. Cost saving in terms of, otherwise what you will have to do is you will have to put the infrastructure there locally if you want to create a local network. Now put a tower maybe, or put a fiber, or lay a fiber till there, and that's how you extend the network. But here, you are just carrying the Explorer gateway which you saw. It is not more than $2,000 for your information. So per user, you pay that, and the user can be anywhere across the globe. Real time, obviously via satellite it is connected. So these are the key advantages of PTT that we have. So that was about, I talked about voice, the data terminals. Thuraya as well has a good portfolio of IoT terminals, which is again a good upcoming segment for us. When we talk about IoT, there are so many applications that we have installed, and we demonstrate it in being smart agriculture, being vehicle tracking, mining, early fire detection. I'll be going through a couple of cases as a next slide. So here's the portfolio. As you can see, it starts from a very small matchbox kinds of a device, which sits, there are applications where it is needed just for on and off purpose. It is just needed for a health check kind of a thing. We have SM3770. You can see T2M as a next product, which is basically a dual band. Again, it has a GSM, it has a satellite connectivity, L-band SIM as well. That is mostly meant for fleet tracking, fleet management, container tracking. So that is what T2M is for. FT2225 has much higher data rates. However, that's meant for ATM kind of application. Now, what advantage it has is, you can see the box. It's a small box. You place it on the ATM, and that's it. You don't have to otherwise lay a fiber or put a VSAT with a big dish. So that's the advantage. Thuraya IP Plus I talked about. It's a man-pack carried by, but it has higher data rates. So that's the IoT M2M segment portfolio. These are the use cases that we have already implemented. Early fire detection. This is what IoT is about. The camera detects if there is a certain kind of smoke. Now, when we say use cases, we just don't have the devices, but we have created the whole end-to-end solution by having third-party softwares integrated to the IoT devices of Thuraya. So the customer has all the thing that is needed until from the base or the headquarter till the remote. It's completely developed solution. Driver fatigue monitoring, which means is it's very important for the fleet companies who carry high value cargo. Now the T2M that I showed you in the last slide, it is smart enough to capture inputs like if the driver is not driving the car, the vehicle in an appropriate way, if he is too rash, it detects that as well because there are sensors that are put in. If the driver is suddenly changing the gear from first gear to fourth gear, that means it is defined as unusual driving. There is a sensor that has been put at the accelerator or gear pedal, and that is integrated with the T2M. T2M can even measure the oil level, it can measure the engine temperature. So these kind of things we can do IoT because it's just signal passing of the signal and no high data rates are needed. Perimeter intrusion, if there is any unwanted intrusion by maybe an animal, even humans, it can detect at your very far, let's say this is a mining site and put in by a fence. So it detects if there is any intrusion and it creates alarm at the head office, so the corrective actions can be taken. Again, the same for the mining power generators segment. The T2M or the IoT devices can create, sense the temperatures and accordingly the actions can be taken, switching it on and off remotely, all that can be done. So these are the use cases. There are a lot of things. Smart agriculture, like I mentioned. What is the right soil to sow a particular kind of a crop? What is the water level that is needed? This is all being done by Thuraya IoT portfolio. We had demonstrated a full suite in South Africa, in AfricaCom Summit. So we have solutions on this, and we welcome you to discuss it further in case you have any requirements. Maritime wise, we completed voice data IoT, where the last section that Thuraya has is maritime. As I mentioned, I talked about this phone. This is put on a fishing ships. It can create all these kinds of services. So and it's a small phone, and the productivity that it gets. Firstly, voice calls can be made from the sea. The boat can be tracked from the headquarter. Fishing cash report being sent every 20 minutes. Or from the headquarter, they can guide the, based on the internet reports, etc., real-time data, they can guide the fishermen to go in a particular area and the coordinates where he can have better yield. So that's what all Marine Star can do. So that was all about Thuraya. I'll quickly take you through YahClick as well, which is, until now it was all mobility. Now I'll talk about fixed services, basically the satellite dish that we install at a fixed location, be it office, be it school, home segment. YahClick, as I mentioned, we have 3 satellites, Alia 1, 2, and 3. All 3 of them, Alia 1 does KU band and C band as well. Alia 2 and 3 does KA band only. We cover Africa in detail. Obviously, we cover Asia as well, and good part of Brazil as well. So that's the network of YahClick KA band. Those are the segments that we cater to, cellular backhaul. I'll talk about each of them in the next slide. This is how a very basic thing, but this is how the architecture is. Basically, the gateway is set up. All our gateways are in Europe and in Abu Dhabi as well. So from the gateway, the remote site is connected via the satellite. From the gateway, there is an internet link over MPLS. It is connected to the head office. Let's say it's a bank. Now there is a requirement to connect a branch to the bank data center. Now how do we connect when there are fiber, or how do we connect satellite as a secondary link or a backup link? So this is how the remote link gets connected via satellite to the gateway. From gateway via the MPLS, it takes it to the bank DC or to the headquarter of the office. So that's how the architecture is. Some bit about what we do. Like I mentioned, the segments that we do. We are very good in implementing school projects. across Africa. We have done a few projects in Kenya for CAK. So what we do is the good advantage or the natural thing about satellite, it showers. You don't have to, site-wise bandwidth. It showers the required content. So that is only what satellite can do. And schools are an application where the content are being showered, same content at a time. So that's where satellite comes into picture. So we have implemented good 400 schools project in Kenya. What it adds is we as well integrate the smart contents. We as well integrate a remote presenter as a video content to the schools at a time, so the children can real time ask questions. So what this does is the education is not only limited to the very urban sector, the same rural students, far off students where there are no terrestrial network, they are on par with the colleagues of urban where there are good schools and they get good contents. Some more about e-learning, YahClick e-learning solution. Again, like I mentioned, we can even integrate a content provider. There are specific content provider generators who create the content for the syllabus, like CAK in this case in Kenya. They have a syllabus created, so they share the syllabus. We integrate that syllabus in our studio guest room, and that is being shared with the schools at a time while the presenter or a teacher from a central location is presenting that. Some more about what we are doing in Zimbabwe. We have more than 5,000 schools in Zimbabwe that we have connected on a YahClick K-band service. We have been very successfully been able to do it, Zimbabwe, South Africa, Nigeria, Kenya. So this is how the basically technical part of it is. As to same, like I mentioned, the gateway is connected via satellite to the remote school, and then in the school there is an access point which is connected to the satellite terminal, and the school gets connected over Wi-Fi. We are doing good work in Rwanda as well for the Mindec, which is Rwanda Education Board. We have done a good amount of schools. Again in Rwanda, we have integrated it at our studio, at our gateway, where we take third-party contents, specifically tailored for the children's, and those content are being showered. So that's integration as well is there. Some slides about the real time, how it happens, how rural the schools are, but they are being able to, have the projectors and the content are being projected for the students. So another sector where we focus on is the cellular backhaul for the MNOs to extend their network. Wherever fiber is not feasible, but there is a government's need to cater to those areas to bring them on the connectivity side, be it financial transactions or giving them some kind of connectivity. So we come there into picture wherever fiber is not feasible. The cell site tower or the BTS is connected via a satellite, via K-band service. And that's how very efficiently, in a very cheaper way, MNOs are able to roll out networks very far off, wherever they don't have their traditional fiber available. So this is how there is a network diagram, how we implement it. But there are even advantages of putting it over the satellite. So yeah, we do this a lot in Africa as well. So banking, as I mentioned, is a key segment. Good part is we are able to create an end-to-end VPN IPsec tunnel from the branch router till the DC router, which is a basic requirement in the transaction industry, financial industry. The remote branch, I explained how it is connected to the DC data center or the head office of the branch. Good part about satellite is it can act as a backup connectivity wherever branches are having fiber, but in Africa we know, there is a good amount of downtime on the fiber. So the business loss on account of the downtime, even if we say 2 to 3 days in a month, that is huge for a branch. So that's where satellite comes into picture. It can act as a backup only for those days when the fiber, and it's auto switch over, nothing to be done at the branch level. If the fiber is down, satellite automatically takes over. And then The good part again about satellite is we can have like a full bandwidth across the whole, let's say 200 branch network. So the branch which is on the satellite only uses the capacity. So we don't have to have dedicated capacity to all the branches. Again, that is it's a very cost efficient way, I mean, to maintain your uptime, specifically for the branching sector. We do a lot in healthcare industry as well for the very rural segments or areas. We have created a, like if you come and see at a stall, there is a Pelican suitcase that is created. Even for healthcare, we have created a Pelican suitcase that has a satellite connectivity that's connect to the server. So the suitcase has everything basic, including the stethoscope, a video camera. Obviously, a doctor sitting at remote location can consult the patient. So this solution is created, not only satellite, but whole, I mean, the suitcase is integrated with a cloud wherein the patient's files are stored. So the doctor, whenever he has a second consultation with the patient, he first accesses the reports of the patient, what's the earlier history. So that's all, that is all integrated. So we have this solution as well. Healthcare, which is we are doing good in Asia, in Pakistan, Afghanistan. Welcome if you have any opportunities. Yes, another way, another good thing we are doing specifically in Africa is creating Wi-Fi communities. So we put up like there are these camps on the border of the countries for the migrants, or lot of there are these people. So we put a VSAT link there, like a big VSAT link it can be. It can be 100 Mbps, etc. So it creates a Wi-Fi for that community until like 100 meter or 500 meter. So everyone can use it. It can be a paid basis. We have that software again at the back end. I mean, like a voucher basis, they can use it for as small as like 1,000 shillings, the way they pay, and they pay as they grow, as they use. So again, this solution is fully created with the softwares at the back end. There are shopkeepers who are able to sell these vouchers, Wi-Fi vouchers. So their system, billing system as well is created. So we have this solution as well. Yeah, that's pretty much about YahClick and Yahsat. I only talked about Thuraya and YahClick. There are two other companies as well, like I mentioned, YahLive, which does the broadcasting part. I mean, I think we do more than 2 million subscribers on the D2H segment. So again, our satellites are being used that as well for, we do a lot of channel broadcasting. We have something called as YGS that I mentioned, Yahsat government solution, which deals with the government sectors, and they have those specific products meant for the government. I mean, be it, security proof handsets, etc. and all that. So that's about Yahsat. Thank you so much for all your time. I mean, we welcome you all to our stall, and we are happy to take it ahead. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Amit. You can take a couple of questions maybe? Or,
Of course, yeah. No.
I've got one for you. Is there any material people can download? For example, the use cases. These are some fantastic use cases you presented.
Sure,
So
we can share that.
are these all on your website, or can you share some links afterwards?
No, I can share as well.
with
It's
the
there on
links?
the website. Yes,
Fantastic.
Thuraya, all cases are on website. YahClick even you can sign. So for everybody's information, yes, the use cases are pretty much there on the website. But in case you need any specific, you have any specific use case, we are happy to share even detailed content on it.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Questions, comments? Great. We have one here already.
Yes, my question is about the remote connectivity. I personally promote community networks to connect underserved urban areas and rural areas. So my question is, what kind of solution in a space where we don't have any connectivity in the rural area, how can I leverage the Thuraya technologies to be able to connect people in the rural area, in a village where there is nothing? Thank you.
Sure. So Thuraya, as I mentioned, all the products are meant for mobility kind of application. When you say rural, I mean, we will have to also understand what kind of application or segment that you're talking, whether it's a home, whether it's like a camp. So those needs higher links, So then we have, like I explained, we have a K-band fixed VSAT kit, which creates a Wi-Fi. So that is one. Obviously, our VSATs as well are, we have as well integrated our VSATs with solar panels. The Rwanda school that I mentioned, the schools are so remote that there is the issue about even power connectivity to the school. So how will you give electronic devices? I mean, we are talking about smart, etc. But the schools are so basic, there is no electricity. So we have solar panels that we supply with our VSAT. So it doesn't even needs connectivity. It connects on the DC power on solar panel. In fact, the same power is being used for a lot of other IT devices. So that is all we do. We have Wi-Fi community product fully developed for rural communities, as I mentioned. They pay as they use. We have, yes, Thuraya wise, we have IP plus as a small device, which obviously it connects to the satellite. So it can, as long as the content are required or the link is needed for a single user, it can give up to 1 Mbps. Yeah, we have the Thuraya portfolio as well. But this, when we say satellite, it is mostly meant for the regions which are not covered by the terrestrial media. So yeah, we are pretty much have solutions, and we can discuss your specific use case.
Thanks so much, Amit. A big round of applause, please, for Amit Pathak from Thuraya. He's be available afterwards for discussion and questions at the booth, also outside. Thanks so much once again. We have two quick presentations next by Nabil Hermina. Nabil, are you here? Nabil, please come up. We're going to get your video up. And after that, we'll hear from Julian Navarro. So Julian is also here. After that, we switch to our first panel discussion, the digital on-ramp. Let's come.
The only company with an extensive range of the best available fiber optic communication products, and a history was made. A history of connecting the smart future.
Namshukuru sana na kumpongeza Tanzania mwenzetu Bwana Ramadhan Hassan Mlanzi na partner wake au na mwenziwe Bi Amina, wakurugenzi wa kampuni ya Radi Fiber Manufacturing, kwa kuunga mkono jitihada za serikali za kujenga Tanzania ya viwanda. Kama serikali tunatambua na kuthamini uwekezaji huu wa kiwanda, na tunasema mcheza kwao hutunzwa. Tutakuwa nawe bega kwa bega.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum.
Radi Fiber
My name is
Manufacturing
Nabil
Tanzania
Hermina,
Limited, under the mother company
head of
Radi
sales,
Fiber
Radi Fiber
Solutions, located at
Manufacturing. Please, for 1 minute, you can see the video for our factory here in Tanzania, in Mukuranga, 30 kilometers from Dar es Salaam. We supply all the fiber cable, all of the kind of cable, and accessory like joint, splice closure, ODF rack, patch code, pectel, everything here in Tanzania, made in Tanzania. I take this speak from the last speak from the boss for Tigo yesterday, the beautiful lady, when she say how we can support each other in this room. Now already Fiber offer also for all of you to support everybody for the backbone, the main material for in all the activity, microwave, digital, this must have a fiber. Here you can get it with the local currency, with the T-shilling. You didn't have to bring it from outside and this. You didn't have to pay foreign currency. Here in Tanzania, we find this beautiful factory, and we have only another office in DRC and Kenya, and very soon we have in the Middle East. But we need to support also our country, because I'm Egyptian Tanzanian. From 17 years I'm here. But we're ready to support our country here, any supplier. And all of you welcome anytime to visit us, Radi Fiber Manufacturing. And I don't want I know I have a tight time. I will give you the last surprise from Radi Fiber. Very soon, in the C2C meeting, we have another activity, Radi Electronic. We make cell phone, laptop, iPad, the machine for the TRA, everything in this one. And the second also child for Radi Fiber is Radi Digital. We'll give you all the explanation, inshallah, the next C2C. And thank you for C2C to give us the opportunity to show our product. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nabil. Thank you so much for the initiatives on local manufacturing. Let me now invite Julian Navarro to please come up on stage. Julian Navarro is the President and CEO of Holistic Innovation, and he's going to share with us a few quick insights of some of his work in this space. Julian, over to you.
Thank you very much, Madan. And thank you to all. Thank you, Estencia. I think that you are converting this conference in a professional must to come from anywhere in the world to attend the conference. And I think that some of you may know me because I was visiting your offices in the last 2 years, promoting or identifying projects which could be funded by international institutions in the European Union. I'm back here and pleased to be in Tanzania again. But now I am in a matter, in an initiative which is connected also to previous work and also with the theme of this conference, meaningful connectivity. Congratulations for the name. It's indeed hot target there. I would say that meaningful connectivity means two parts. One part has been extensively being discussed on affordability, prices, etc., etc. But I would say that there are two other elements in the second part. In the second part, maybe I am giving you the theme for the next year conference, meaningful connectivity for all. And I would say for all, I am coming from a poor region of the Spanish autonomy of Castilla-La Mancha in the city of Toledo, where connectivity is not was not the main element available there. And therefore, I think that there are 2 points that we need to target. This is availability for all and content for what? For what? Once we have the connectivity, for what? In an initiative that I am supporting, my company Holistic Innovation, together with Yahsat and Access, German and Spanish companies, and also with international institutions, we are targeting the possibility of bringing connectivity to anyone. It doesn't matter in which region they are located, rural, urban, suburban, having a seamless connectivity, and also content. Once you are deploying a fiber optic, you need to raise traffic. You are connected, congratulations, you have the road, but then you have to bring the cars as well, and as many cars as possible. Otherwise, the road is just a luxury infrastructure. And therefore, we are promoting the possibility of bringing teleeducation, telehealth, and smart agriculture within the same package, together with other advanced solutions in ensuring the resilience of the network. We are witnessing sometimes that we are inaugurating a tremendous new infrastructure, and few days later is subject to any problems. Therefore, security is very important as well. We are including in this way. My colleague Ramsley Kubi is sitting there, if you can stand, and myself would be more than happy to comment on you and to further explain the more details this project. And maybe, why not? You would invite Madan next year because we will be in the implementation phase of that project. Thank you very much.
Thanks, gracias, Julian.